Intelligence has given us our best lead yet on the pesky SA-17 unit that killed 2 of our friends last mission. Falcon 1 is tasked with finding and destroying that unit using any means necessary short of a nuclear weapon.
Alright, listen up.
Use of area weapons is authorized in urban areas. VID the SA-17 vehicle with a target pod and destroy them with standoff weapons. Falcon 1 will perform AI on several mechanized and tank groups in the area, as we saw last week. Lobel 1 provide containment in the western cap area, while Panther 1 does the same in the east. Sting 1 will patrol the reserve cap area, it looks like it's out to sea, and act as support and delousing force as required. Primary air threats come from Sarajevo, possibly Tuzla, both northeast of the target. Bullseye is Molstar, which is our SA-17. Weather is clear in the south, with possible very high broken cloud over the target. Time of day is early morning. No daylight coming up. So, let's get a package leader. I can happily do it in Sting if no one wants to step up today. Alrighty. Stand by for package brief. Here, package brief. We're at package 1460.
Alright, listen up.
Our mission is the SA-17. Secondary mission is mechanized in tanks, south of the Bullseye. Flight order as follows: Falcon 1, Seed led by Slider, Fury 1, AI led by Force, Lobel 1, Escort, West Escort led by Gazman, Panther 1, East Escort led by Kraus, Sting 1, Barcap led by Gus.
Alright, listen up.
Already got a situation. The intent is to kill that 17 at all costs. First and foremost, so Slider, this is going to be almost your show for this mission. Do you have a full flight?
I appear I do.
Okay. And you know your tasking?
Kill that shit.
What's your method of attack and plan to kill the SA-17?
Violence of action. We have Jay's house, so we'll let me see. Sorry, the lead element will go ahead ahead of the flight with harms, just to make sure nothing pops up, and then as soon as they're in range, the second element will release Jay's house on that area. Hopefully, seeing the target through their DGP. If not, we'll just release. There.
Okay, so know that SA-17s, they oftentimes move along the road.
Yeah.
And they won't turn on until you're like just above them, and then they'll open up on you. So you're gonna have to have like an element dedicated to finding it and the targeting button.
Yeah, we'll see.
Alright, listen up.
Yeah, it'll be either us or the second element, but I want to try to destroy it with JSOW at range before and before going in with harms.
Gotcha. Alright, so yeah, figure out how to deal with the 17. It may have moved off the Bullseye. We're not seeing it here.
Yeah.
So make a plan for that. It could be like 30 miles east of the Bullseye.
All right, listen up.
It could be honestly anywhere. So be prepared to be surprised of its location.
Oh yeah.
And have a plan to deal with it. As far as the AI led by Force, the place is saturated with. The ground picture is vast south of the Bullseye, and you're not gonna have any problems finding any mech armor or infantry battalions. So
okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
All right, so the SA-17s are somewhere in there. What is our other intel picture besides the shit that I see on the map? I see a bunch of SAMs that are pretty much in off, like the old gen.
On the Bullseye, there's probably 3 or 4 battalions. South of the Bullseye, it pretty much runs down a road. It was like 2 or 3 battalions on that road south to the 7-5 on the map. Along the coast were I guess 2 or 3 more battalions along that coastal road.
Okay.
So Bullseye, south of Bullseye, on the coast, south of Bullseye, all that area.
Okay, I'm not trying to brief by committee here. I'm just what I'm thinking I might do is I might just set up an IP along that road, or maybe somewhere over the ocean. We'll just use sensors to identify the targets, and then I'm going to have an element with Mavericks, and my helmet's probably going to carry 87s or 97s, and we'll try to find the launchers and drop CVs on them, like just to fuck up the whole site. Is that like a feasible thing? I just don't know enough about the threat picture to do that.
Threat picture is going to be continuous, so quicker the better. Yeah, it's gonna be your call on how quick we remote time. It's also the seat's call. Again, it's the primary mission is at 17, but yeah, don't try to loiter on station for 40 minutes. The air picture is vast, so we're gonna be running out of fuel pretty quickly, and you're gonna lose escorts. So make it, I guess, a bit high tempo on the air to ground methods.
And the AAA is probably the biggest threat, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, scatter AAA over the area. So you know, flying level is steady, dropping one at a time. Is cool and all, but you know, you're gonna start losing people over to AAA. So that's just an idea. Also. Air threats kind of went over that in the package brief, but we do have intercepts from the northeast. I'll just say it again. Primary threats from Sarajevo and Tuzla, both northeast. So east side, Cap, Panther 1, led by Kraus. You're probably going to have the heaviest picture when it comes to air to air. This time I'm going to keep the Hornet flight pretty much out to sea and really separated from you guys. That way, if you do need the extra like 1 or 2 ship that the Hornet's gonna have, or Sting 1's gonna have, will flow in. Otherwise, we're gonna keep the rear clear. So that's pretty much of a sequence of events on how we're gonna deal with both the primary and secondary targets. Supporting aircraft, I'm gonna throw in a tanker now. Its location is going to be at the pretty much the halfway point of our transit to Feet Dry. From Italy. If I can get a bulls, it would be. I guess this patrol path would be 089 for 191. I'm sorry, 191 for 085. Oh, so that can be backwards. Kind of in that area, halfway point to the target. Is that okay for us?
That's perfect.
Okay, I haven't made it yet, but I'll do that. Comms are standard, packet standard. If you're gonna stick with laser codes, just force stick on the 162X block. So 1621, 1622, 1623, 126, or 1624.
Fluky, what are you doing?
Okay.
Misclick.
All right. Any questions from flight leads?
Are we gonna go over the landing situation again? I thought we said we were gonna go over that.
Yeah. Okay. I got a few things to go over actually. So first and foremost, debriefing. We're gonna hopefully all the flight leads please stay for at least a quick debrief after the mission. Even if it's just like a few minutes, report like what you saw, what happened, and some like good things that happened, bad things that happened, what could be improved, things like that. Some notable comments that you saw, and we're just going like down each flight lead and from top to bottom and ask like how'd your flight go, and we haven't done that in a while, and it's gonna bring it back. So and then only after that, then we'll go to Acme, and then each of the flight leads can talk about what happened in the Acme. Next thing is the overhead brake at the airbase. Be ready to write this down. So we're going to be doing left-hand brakes. Initial is at 3 miles. You're going to, the parameters for the brake is left-hand brake over the runway, directly over the runway, at 2000 feet, 2,000 feet, and 300 knots. Turning for the perch, you're going to have about half power on your brake. Usually the brake is about 3 to 4 G. After the brake, you're going to go downwind and slow to 210 knots. On your perch, everyone's perch should be at 210 knots on the 45 degree angle off of the end of the runway. So some people might go too far. Remember last week, some people were too high, too far, too fast, whatever. Just remember initial left-hand brake at 2,000 feet, 300 knots. When you turn downwind, you should be under 300 knots. Drop your gear, check 3 green lights, slow to 210 knots at 45 degrees on the perch. It happens really quick, so it's like you turn for downwind. Make sure you write down your downwind direction. This airbase, what is the takeoff runway usually?
1-5.
1-5?
Yeah, just look between your legs and put 1-5 on the bottom of the HSI.
330
Yeah,
is the
set the course on
opposite.
So
yeah, or do the reciprocal, yeah.
So your downwind's gonna be 330. So remember that. But when you turn downwind and you're checking your gear, you drop your gear, you check your gear, you're slowing you're idle, you're slowing to 210. It's gonna come up quick. It's gonna be like 10 seconds, and you're ready for perch. It's not gonna be like all the way, like a mile away. You perch really quickly. All you're doing is looking to the left side of your canopy, waiting for that runway to be about 45 degrees off from you, and then you slowly turn in for perch. Perch is basically almost full power, like 90% power. Not all the way full power. You still have some wiggle room, and you hold 210 knots all the way till you're lined up for final, and then you slow down to your 150 or 160. So it should be really easy. Just don't go too crazy. Make sure you're lined up for 330 on the downwind. Make sure your idle power on the downwind, so you're slowing to 210. When you hit that 210, hold it. Don't go down to 190 or whatever. When you're on the perch turn for final, make sure you add power, really add power, and watch your airspeed for that, so you don't stall. That's it. It's super simple. And when in doubt, if everything fucks up, don't be afraid. Just the wave off. The wave off is typically you exit the you're gonna exit the pattern, but be advised that people could be in the pattern right above you, or just to your sides. So when you exit the pattern, keep that in mind. Forrest, do you have any comments on exiting a brake pattern?
Breaking out.
Okay, yeah.
Is that your question?
Yeah. What's like a big no-no? Do you like not gain altitude? Not.
No, just don't cut the guy off and cause a coffin corner where you cut the guy off in front of you. If you're unsure, just fly towards the ocean. Go 2,000 feet above pattern altitude and re-enter. That's it.
Okay. Third thing I want to go over is UHF communication. I made a post on our BMS thread talking about proper UHF communication. So we went over this a bit in the debrief last week, but some people took off. So I just wanted to kind of post my thoughts on that, and so some notes that we got off of it. So only flight leads should be calling out things on package to keep it clear. One big thing that's been happening on package comms is people get a little bit too talkative on it, and if someone's talking on package comms, that usually means every single flight lead is like not listening at all to their flight brief or their flight channel. They're either talking in their flight channel, so they're not hearing package comms.
All right, listen up.
Or someone's talking in flight and they're having to like tell them to shut up because hey, I can't hear package. Package is pretty important. So when people get really talkative on package, it kind of shuts down the communication for almost everyone in the entire package. Just for one guy just talking about something. So if you have to talk on package, it has to be really damn important. So I kind of went over some things like what to say in a package communication. It's only the most important things that I written down. Is your flight engaged defensive? Say that. Are you engaged defensive? You say that. Is there a SAM launch? You call that out, and it's position. Is there a singer? Is there an RWR contact that's popped up and it's firing? Is there a mud? Have you detected a new mud that has not been called on package? Call that out. If it disappears and reappears, don't keep calling out. Just call it the first time and tell people it's general direction or bullseye. An RTB and a reason. Lobo 1 RTB Dakota or null time. Package directives. So this is package leaders kind of like moving the chess pieces. They shouldn't. I put down that it shouldn't be too often called out, and it should be things that haven't been said in the brief. Like pretty much everyone knows what they're going to be doing here, so I wouldn't say, hey, Panther 1, go east to bar cap. You already know that. So I'm not going to like give you a directive like that. So if you get a directive, it's like something serious is going on. Like everyone's dead in Lobo, so Panther help out west side. Something like that important. And of course, immediate danger directives. This is if a flight is in immediate danger, and make sure this should be almost the rarest one. But that's about it. But yeah, we're gonna keep comms on package to a minimum this flight and give that a shot and see what it sounds like. Let's not do Fox 3 calls on package. It's gonna really clutter everything up. Your Fox 3 call is instead going to be your flight lead calling engaged offensive. And what they're engaged offensive with. Bullseye, 2-ship, and type. 4-ship of 29s or whatever. So that when you say that on the uniform chat, it means, hey, there's about to be a lot of Fox 3 calls, a lot of Fox 3 shots going off at this bullseye against this target from my flight. So that's about it. So yeah, no more Fox 3 calls on. Being that we're like a big 18-ship package. Having 18 people call out Fox 3s, it just really clutters up the package comms, and it shuts down basically, like I said, it shuts down the flight leaders, communications, because they got to listen into every single shot. And sometimes when there's so much chatter going on in package that they stop listening to package because there's so much chatter on it. They just kind of don't pay attention to it. So when something really important comes up, they could just not be listening to it if there's too much chatter. So less is more in this case. We keep the chatter really low on it. Everyone will hear something important come up. All right, I think that's about it. Any other questions from flight leads?
Is the tanker who's gonna fire the tanker?
Shit, I'm sorry. I need to.
Want me to do it? Or are you gonna do it?
You could do it. Just halfway point between our feet dry from Italy to our feet dry in Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
Gussie.
Yeah.
Not very critical, but say waypoint 2, at least for us, is 26 miles east of Takeoff. Can we just cut that corner, or you want us to go around?
So Brainling did that, I guess, to allow Hornet to catch up to that point. Otherwise, we're going to be like 20 miles behind you guys.
Okay.
And also at that point, he wanted, I guess, to use that as
up.
sort of an anchor point for people to take off. And if you're taking off really late, like in the back, you can then cut that corner and catch up.
Okay. Then yeah, that's fine.
Because it may take like 10 minutes between the first flight taking off and the last flight, and so they're going to be almost at the target while the last flight's taken off. So I think that's what the use is for.
Okay. I'll just follow the carrot then. And...
Yeah, try to follow the carrot, but if you know how things you can get, someone takes off and they're 10 minutes behind carrot, use that as the orbit point.
Yep.
And we'll coordinate from there.
Alright, can we split up?
Yeah, we're good?
Yep.
Let's split up.
Go ahead and take number 3, Abe.
Got it.
Alright, gents. First thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and make a map of all the threats. So reference northwest to Tier 5. There's a urban center there, Mostar. You'll see that there's Mostar City is in the middle of all those factories. Put a SA-17 threat steer point on there. That will be restricted airspace in effect. We're not going to be going anywhere near there. Okay, reference north of Steer 6, about 25 miles. Oh, it's more like 30 miles, I would say. The very first airbase, Sarajevo. Make a steer point line going from the airbase to sort of between, you know, middle of Steer 5 and Steer 6, just to show their ingress direction. Put a base defense zone threat steer on there as well. That will also be restricted airspace. East of Steer 6, there, if you go all the way like due east, the first airbase is Sejenica. Put a steer point line on there, have it go towards Steer 6. And to the north-northeast, you have Tivat, or no, Tuzla. From Tuzla, make another steer point line and have it flow towards Steer 6. So you should be able to visually see the vectors for bandits now. North, northwest from Sarajevo, northeast from Tuzla, due east from Sejenica. Alright, coming out of Sarajevo, we have 11 MiG-31s. I think there's Ponkive as well, isn't there? Yeah, shit. Well, yeah, I guess northeast as well. We have Ponkive Su-27s. Out of Sejenica, Su-34s and a single J-22, and then Tuzla has MiG-29 Sierras and Su-27s, full strength Su-27 squadron. So I think most of our threat will be coming out of the northeast and northeast. In fact, let's probably change that steer point line coming out of Sejenica, make it come out of Ponkive. That's a more likely vector for bandits. So it'll be northeast and northeast. Alright, put a AAA threat steer point on the factory complex southwest of Steer 7. There's a AAA there. They shot at us in the last mission. Lastly, put a man-pad threat steer point on the 7th Patrol Task Force, which is northeast Steer 3. That's also restricted airspace. Alright, our mission, cap the eastern side of the package and defeat enemy aircraft coming into the AOR. We'll go over the game plan now. So we'll go airborne to medium altitude. We'll probably go direct to Steer 3. As will be the last ones up, and we have one of the first TOTs. So we'll cut to Steer 3, and we'll push to Steer 4 at medium altitude. We'll fence in very shortly after takeoff. Once we reach Steer 4, we'll go into we'll go trail with a 3-mile trail between each ship, and we'll set up a chainsaw between Steer 5 and Steer 6. So one of us will be in hot at a time, and then the other ships will be supporting, and we'll just play it like that. We'll just fly between Steer 5 and Steer 6 with our radars oriented northeast. Engage everything that comes within 40 miles. Yeah, we'll commit on anything within 40 miles, and we'll immediately commit on any MiG-31s that are contacted to the north of Steer 6. Once we're out of missiles, or once we're at the end of VOL, we'll RTB. We'll follow our way out to Steer 4, and then south. Note that we may set up a grinder between Steer 6 and Steer 7, but I just don't know yet, because the situation may be that we need to do that. If there's air defenses closer to Steer 5, we may have to set it up between Steer 7 and Steer 6. Yeah. Yeah, actually, now that I think of it, I wanna have a 5-mile separation between each call sign when we go trail. So once we hit Steer 4, we'll go 5-mile separation. So number 3 should be 50 miles. It should be 10 miles behind me, and that should ensure that we have enough separation when we actually set up that chainsaw between Steer 5 and Steer 6. The abort fields will be Let's go with standby. The board field will be on the coast there. Palisi Airport. Or actually disregard, it'll be west of that. Grottaglier, which is southwest of Casale. We have 2 tanks with a 6.5 G limit, 6 AIM-120s, and a 709 jammer. Yeah, so TACAN will be on, I'll be 14 X-ray. Number 2 and number 3 will be 77 X-ray. Bingo is like 1,500 pounds, and Joker is like 3,000 pounds. Any questions?
Sorry, which factory was it that had the AAA?
Just southwest is Tier 7. It's the first factory on the coast there.
Got it. Thanks.
That's going to be restricted airspace.
Understood.
If you guys have a steer point line left, I'd also draw the coast. That's important as well. Alright, make sure you guys save your data cartridge, double click your slot, and double click your flight. And then let's hop up to the, whatever channel.
Panther, 1-2, ready for departure. Falcon,
Casale Tower.
1-3, taxi clear of the runway.
Ready to check?
Falcon, 1-4,
Casale Tower.
taxi clear of the runway. Falcon, 1-1.
Casale Tower.
Panthers, ready to check?
Casale Tower.
Resume low navigation. Falcon, 1-3.
Two rolling.
You're cleared for takeoff, runway 01. Panther, 1-4, taxi, runway 01. Lobo, 1-3.
Casale Tower.
Taxi in sequence. You're number 3 for departure. Taxi, runway 01. Falcon, 1-3.
Casale Tower.
Resume low navigation. Falcon, 1-4.
Casale Tower.
You're cleared for takeoff, runway 01.
Casale traffic,
Falcon, 1-4.
Falcon 1,
Resume low navigation.
airborne, switching sector.
Fury, 1-1.
Casale Tower.
You're cleared for takeoff, runway 01.
Who's this guy on our right?
He is, he's in a hurry.
He's late to the football game. Oh, dear God.
Fury, 1-1. Ready for departure. Fury, 1-1.
Casale Tower.
You're cleared for takeoff, runway 01.
Shit, I think we're on the wrong side of the runway. Oh, whatever, we'll just take off from here.
Traffic, Fury 1 is going to taxi back to my 19 for taxi 1.
Fury 1-1.
Casino Tower.
Extract departure.
Lobo Panther.
Lobo.
Say status.
Lobo's in traffic jam.
Alright, I'm gonna take off. Unless you're about to take active.
Casino Tower.
Taxi clear of the runway.
Lobo negative.
B1, flight of 4 is on runway 1.
Alright, we're just gonna wait for these guys to get airborne and then we'll take off from the take off from Delta.
Fury 1-1. No problem. Fury 1-2.
Casino Tower.
Taxi clear of the runway. Fury 1-1. No problem.
Solid traffic. Who's holding short of runway 1 at Delta?
That's Panther.
What's the hold up?
Fury's on active right now.
This is not the active, this is a different runway, just FYI.
Well, what are they doing?
Fury's holding short of, or on runway 1. We're gonna go ahead and take off. Sorry for the traffic jam, guys.
Lobo, I'm gonna take off from Delta once Fury gets off the runway.
Lobo.
Fury 1-1. No problem. Fury 1-1.
Casino Tower.
Resume low navigation. Fury 1-2.
Casino Tower.
You're clear for takeoff. Runway 01. Panther 1-1.
Casino Tower.
You're clear for takeoff. Runway 01. Fury 1-2.
Casino Tower.
Resume low navigation. Fury 1-3.
Casino Tower.
You're clear for takeoff. Runway 01.
Fury Panther, say clear.
Casino Tower.
You're clear for takeoff. Runway 01.
Panther, Fury 1 and Fury 2 are clear active.
Panther, roger. Alright, we're gonna take active right here. We'll do a 3-shift departure.
2.
Panther 1's taking active 1-9. It's gonna be a short takeoff, guys. So we're just gonna go from the brakes to a full burn immediately.
2.
Panther 1-1.
Casino Tower.
Alright.
Flight departure.
Alright, one's rolling.
Sure you have no problem.
1-1. No problem.
2 is rolling.
Lobo 1's taking active 1.
Panther 1-1.
Casino Tower.
Resume low navigation. Panther 1-3.
Casino Tower.
Taxi clear of the runway.
2 airborne.
Panther 1-2.
Casino Tower.
3 airborne.
Taxi clear of the runway.
one's out of the burn. Let's check left, steer 3. Or disregard, check right, steer 3.
2. 3.
Taxi clear on the runway. Loco, 214.
Casano County.
Taxi clear on the runway. Loco, 211.
Casano County.
Pursue low navigation. Loco, 212.
Casano County.
Panther ghost package.
Loco, 212.
Casano County.
Pursue low navigation.
2. 3.
Sting, Panther 1.
Sting.
Panther 1 is +6.
Sting 1, copy, you're +6. We're gonna go off the last flight to get there.
Three call visual.
2's visual. Panther 1, cut the corner, head to Azrac.
Okay, roger, Panther's still +6.
Three, check ground.
Disregard, +5.
4.
Reflected on spirit flight, he is for good ship.
Falcon 1, nails corner north.
Hey, Panther fence in, leads fence in at 139er.
2 fenced in, 139. 3 fenced, 135.
Music on.
Level 1 checking in, we're good ships. Range is 10. Level 1, cut corner, Azrac. 2 music. Level 1, roger. Level 3. Sting, Falcon, there's a MiG-29 40 miles north of us.
Century 1, Panther 1-1. Request picture. Panther 1-1, Century 1, picture in multiple groups. Here's hostile at bullseye 155, 100 miles, 17,000.
Panther 1 commit 158 for 110, 17,000. Check right. Kick in the burner. Alright, let's shoot for 20,000. Stand by data. Two, are you contact?
2 contact.
Okay, you're sorted on the. There's a 3 ship. You're sorted on the trail. Stand by. Actually, it's a 4 ship. Okay, 3. You're sorted on the last man.
3.
Yeah, I'm gonna get number 1 and number 2. 2 hit the 3rd one, and 3 hit the last one.
2. 3. Falcon 1 defensive MiG-29.
Fox 3 long.
Fox 3, 164, 116, 18,000. One's off to the right.
Two, Fox 3 long.
2 is off to the left.
3, Fox 3 long.
Fox 3, 3 is off to the right.
1, Pitbull.
Panthers flow 253.
2. 3 defending, Fox 3. 2 defending, Fox 3.
Panther 1 defending 253. Panther 1's in from the south.
Falcon 1 close. Defensive. Tier 2.
Level 1 engaging, bandit.
Panther 1-1, Sentry 1, Panther for hostile sighting. Sentry 1, Panther 1-1, declare. Panther 1-1, Sentry 1, Panther for hostile sighting.
Fox 3.
Fox 3 medium. Panther 1-1, engaging. Bearing 080, 15 miles, 19,000. 1, Fox 3. 1, Pitbull.
Panther 1's off to the south. Defending Spike 29.
1, Pitbull.
3's turning in hot.
One's off 225.
2, Fox 3 medium.
2 is off. Somewhat.
I'm spiked to my left 7 o'clock.
Panther 1-4,
Oh shit.
return to base. 4, I'm LGMF. 3, Fox 3 medium.
Panthers flow 250.
Fox 3, flow 250.
2, are you in? Two, say status.
2.
2, are you defensive?
Panther 1-1, declare.
Okay, 1's in from the west.
Thing. Do you want us to keep orbiting tier 2? Negative. Continuous frag.
Sentry 1, Panther 1-1, request picture. Panther 1-1, Sentry 1, picture clear.
Panther 1, splash 3. Picture's clear.
Package continuous frag.
Alright guys, check right and rejoin, heading north.
3. 2.
3, I'm to your right, 3 o'clock, slightly high. Actually, very high. Alright, sorry, disregard 2. 2, I'm to your right, 3 o'clock, very high.
Visual.
3 visual.
Well, I gotta fix my trim. I'm heads down, stand by. Don't know why, but I'm rolling. Oh, I see. Never mind. Alright, reference tier 3.
2.
3.
Okay, Panther, say Say weapons and fuel.
Two, 4, long sticks, fuel 108.
3, 4 long sticks, fuel 105.
Roger. Alright, roll 22,000 on the rejoin.
Level 1 west of the target is clear. Yeah, sorry, my essay was shit there.
Usually what happens when you get a missile fired at you. You just gotta remember to be really, really fast when you're in those sort of fights. This way you can convert that into, you know, an escape. Also, when you're getting spiked, you know, like sometimes you don't have time to support the missile. You just gotta throw a fox out and then go defensive immediately. It was hard to lock those fuckers up because they had a jammer on.
Yeah, I couldn't burn through solidly or reliably and make sure that was on the correct target until about 20 miles or so. I don't know. I just was not expecting contact that soon.
Yep. Beauty of BMS.
And I had no idea where the rest of the package was. I'm in about a 10-mile trail now, 8-mile trail. I'm just gonna hold this for the chainsaw.
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, tack end's finally set. Alright, check right for steer 4.
2.
Eagle 1, contact Strovers west of Bullseye.
Century 1, Panther 1-1, request picture. Panther 1-1, Century 1, picture clear. Century 1, Panther 1-1, request picture. Panther 1-1, Century 1, picture clear.
Three say distance.
3 is in a 9-mile trail.
Roger.
Falcon and Strovers northeast of Bullseye.
Century 1, Panther 1-1, request picture. Panther 1-1, Century 1, picture clear.
Game keeps locking up. Hopefully that doesn't cause a problem during a fight.
I hit some blue text back in air base.
Century 1, Panther 1-1, request picture. Panther 1-1, Century 1, picture clear.
Check right for tier 5.
2. Level 1 engaging bandits just west of Bullseye. 27,000.
So guys, if we have to go west and help Lobo, we're going to flow out to the southwest to tier 3. Sorry, to tier 4, and then we'll flow west from there, but we're not going to go over the SA-17.
Sentry 1, Panther 1-1. Request picture. Panther 1-1.
That's the group that they're
1,
engaging.
picture clear.
That 24,000 guy.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, 2, start to get a 5-mile trail going.
2.
Sentry 1, Panther 1-1. Request picture. Panther 1-1. Sentry 1. Picture in multiple groups. Here's hostile at bullseye 275. 15 miles, 22,000.
Level 1 engaged defensive, 29's west of Wilson.
Thing 1-2 is D-last.
Just had a contact of 26,000 by Sarajevo, but lost him. I got him again.
Sentry 1, Panther 1-1. Declare.
2 million.
Panther 1-1. Sentry 1. Contact confirmed hostile.
Lost contact, but the bandit was at 063 for 027.
Your flight established on station south of Gold Line.
All right, we're going to engage these guys, but we'll come in from the southeast. Lobo Panther.
Lobo.
Confirm you're engaging 051 for 022, 26,000.
Negative.
Roger. Panther commit. All right. I'm in the burn. We're committing on 048 for 021, 26,000.
2. 3.
Falcon 1 has picked on the way to the column containing SA-17.
Two ship. Nah, disregard. They're trying to drag us into air defenses. Check right.
Two.
3.
Reference tier 6.
2.
That was very quick. Yeah, I'll do.
Lobo Panther 1's off dry.
Lobo.
Okay, let's flow into tier 6, then we'll
Fury.
flow back to tier 5.
Fear Falcon.
Okay, here you go.
Sentry 1, Panther 1-1.
Falcon is dropping on the SA-17.
Panther
I'll let you know
1-1.
if
Sentry
you're
1. Picture in multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 230. 20 miles,
Gravity.
2,000.
and splash that you said.
3, check into Sarajevo and scan low.
3.
1's reference tier 7. Or disregard. Tier 5.
Taking that.
Fury, Falcon.
One flowing steer 5.
Steer 5.
Fury.
Sorry, you're stepped on.
One flowing steer 5.
3, I don't see anything low near steering.
Roger, as fragged.
Level 1 engaging, bandage 3510242.
Century 1, Panther 1-1.
Level 1, Sting 1.
Panther 1-1, Century 1, picture in multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 245, 15 miles, 1,000.
Level 1, 3, my lead is hit. I got mud 10, bearing 320. My current load is 24507. Level 1, 3, retrograde southeast. Falcon 1 engage mud 10 northwest of Bulls.
One's in from the southwest.
Century 1, Panther 1-1, request picture. Panther 1-1, Century 1, picture in multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 235, 10 miles, 1,000. Century 1, Panther 1-1, declare. Panther 1-1, Century 1, contact confirmed hostile.
Sting 1 is taking over west camp.
One's defending Singer 17.
Package is slow, go 4 plus contact with all
Check,
the other.
flare, caution, caution. Check, flare.
Panther 1 defending Singer 17.
Altitude, altitude.
Panther 1 defending Singer 17. North Mostar.
Mud 17, back to 17.
Century 1, Panther 1-2, declare. Panther 1-2, Century 1, contact confirmed hostile.
2 defending Singer.
Yeah, flow east. Or whatever that direction. Yeah, southwest, flow southwest.
Two, I got 21 on my 6.
Once again.
Got spot 29 on my
Level 1-4,
6
RTB.
Roger, I'm gonna clear 6. Guys, flow on steer 7. Clearing your 6, dude.
2.
Century 1, Panther 1-1, request picture. Panther 1-1, Century 1, picture in multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 280, 10 miles. Century 1, Panther.
Okay, one's contact 028 for 030, 31,000. Those are probably the 29s. Shit, I'm spiked. Continue to flow on tier 7. I'm defending towards tier 7. Two, when able, right-hand turn, and then clear my 6. Spike 29 to the north.
Two supporting.
Sentry 1, Panther 1-1. Request vector to threat. And Panther 1, Sentry 1, come all out. Sentry 1, Panther 1-1. Declare. Panther 1-1, Sentry 1.
Three's turning in hot. Oh.
3, standby data.
Three's contact.
Kill Bandit 149-069, 17,000. I have the trail.
Look up.
Panther 1, commit 149-069, 17,000. Two status.
I got 17 launch alert on my part of the R continuously like last 5 seconds. 5 minutes, sorry.
Okay, 2, rejoin.
3, Fox 3 long.
Fox 3, cranking left.
Falcon, be advised.
1,
Fox 3.
Fox 3 long.
Crank right.
News 29, 9 o'clock.
1 off to the right. Two, continue to press. 1's defending towards Tier 7.
2.
Resolved.
Magnum, SA-17, most target.
One, hit the hole.
There's a lot of AAA over here.
Yep.
Sentry 1, Panther 1-1. Request picture.
2 lost contact.
Panther 1-1, Sentry 1. Picture in multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 175, 25 miles, 15,000.
175, 15,000. 2, you gotta, your nose is too high, dude. You gotta lower yourself. There are bandits for 15,000. Hey, 3, I'm turning in. One's in from the west.
Just visual.
Two, bandits on your nose, 17,000. 10 miles.
2 visual.
Just turning in.
And AAA left, 9 o'clock.
They're most cold.
Falcon 1 is engaged, SA-17, most target.
Two, come off.
2 is off to the southwest.
I have you supported. Continue.
Two is defending AAA.
Package, be advised, Falcon 1 is Dakota.
Oh my god, so much AAA. Hey, 3, I'm gonna check left. Just continue. One's off west.
Single one, playback.
Panther.
Say playback.
Panther has about 10 minutes.
Back at 10 minutes, playback.
Panther's still engaging at Bulls 140040. Three, is that bandit still flanking?
No, I don't have contact anymore. Got a strober out there.
Roger. Just rejoin.
Okay, yeah, contact the Angel 17 still.
Roger that, rejoin. Alright, let's run the chainsaw between, run it between steer 7 and steer 6. I think if we go to steer 5, there's too much of a risk of a 17 from there.
Big one, defensive, mud 10.
2.
Sentry 1, Panther 1-1. Request
Big
picture.
one, hit, mud 10.
Panther 1-1, Sentry 1, picture in multiple groups. Here's Falcon with bullseye 155, 80 miles, 16,000.
Okay, reference steer 6.
Sting 1-1 is down. Sting 2-1 is taking over for the Sting.
Fury 1, Panther.
Panther
2, Joker.
Panther 1, say status.
Correct. Fury 1 is RTB Dakota.
Roger. Okay. Falcon 1, Panther 1, say status.
Falcon 1 is 2 good ships, 2 down, Dakota, RTB.
Yeah, Falcon 1. Is that Falcon 1?
This is Falcon 1, 2, yep.
Roger. Miller time.
Very.
Right, check left for steer 4.
2.
3, go, go.
Oh shit. Got a mud 15 north. It's kicking the burner and flow 230. Fury 1, Panther.
Panther Fury, go.
Panther, clear my 6 of Able.
Copy, Fury will clear.
Okay, Panther safe weapons and fuel.
2 for 1 stage. Fuel 0. 2, 3.
3 long sticks, fuel 045.
Panther 1-1,
Fury,
Sentry
you're
1, contact is friendly.
Panther, say again.
Panther Fury, you're 6 o'clock.
Did you guys hear what he said?
We're clean.
Alright. Panther. Hey Fury, Panther, be advised you got a bunch of AAA on your nose there. 5 miles. Man, when that 17 shot at me, I never saw the missile. I just fucking super lucky I didn't die because I was just doing brake turns, didn't see the missile.
RWR going mad.
It's going to be interesting to see the ACMI.
Definitely not a dull flight.
Flight is way.
Yeah, sorry, just trying to. Gonna try to.
Sentry 1, Panther 1-1, request picture. Panther 1-1, Sentry 1, picture clear.
So when you're defending against an adder, do you, should we turn off our jammers?
Yes.
Yeah, forget to do that.
Well, typically you want to turn it off before they even fire at you. But I think there's a bug in BMS where even if you turn it off, it still homes on you. Check left steer 3. Sting 1-2, Panther 1.
Go for Sting.
What's your status?
Bingo and RTB.
So we were, we were Dakota, and we had to RTB. We didn't have any more ground ordnance.
Okay, Fury 1.
Fury 1 was a 4-ship AI. The ground ops was a complete clusterfuck worthy of debriefing later. Techniques will be given at that point. The rest of the flight was very uneventful. Gas was never a factor. Ghost Dog reached bingo. On our way, RTB, so that was not even a big deal. Total vehicles destroyed, I think, was probably 15. Combined tanks, launchers, etc. We never found the SA-17s. We'll have to ask 3 about that. I don't think we ever found them, but we engaged shit and went home. No losses. Pretty smooth. That's all I got.
Okay, level 1. Panther 1.
Okay. What we found when we got airborne is we had a 4-ship of Su-34s that were coming inbound from the northeast. They were committing on Slider, so he was defensive. We committed on them, splashed all of those bandits. In doing so, we used probably, I think it was 4 or 5 missiles and burned through quite a lot of fuel, probably about 3,000 pounds of fuel. Continued. Managed to get ahead of the package. We were still +6 at that time, or maybe even +7. Fucking established the cap east of the target. Immediately had groups coming out of Sarajevo and to the southwest of Sarajevo. We tried to engage one group. We got pulled into some air defenses and had to defend some pop-up 17s. That was mostly a tactical mistake on my part. I even briefed that we wouldn't head over there, and we didn't fly into the restricted airspace that I marked, but we did fly close to it. And it turned out that, yeah, there were 17s northeast of Mostar, so not exactly on Mostar, but northeast of it. Had a pop-up 17. Both myself and number 2 defended launches blind. I did not have a tally on the missile, managed to defend it, just basically piecing together the situation in my head. Survived those missiles. Then we continued our patrol. We had groups. We had multiple groups to the north over Sarajevo and one to the northeast, but they were sort of capping and about 50, 60 miles away, so we didn't commit on them. We had a group coming from the east of MiG-29s, splashed them, and then lastly we had another group coming from the east. We did not know at the time, but apparently they were Su-25s. They were moving quite fast, so we thought they were fast movers, but they were CAS aircraft. We killed one of them and damaged another one. No aircraft were able to penetrate our cap. Gus was killed by an SA-10, which he called over on guard. I then took over the package, got a status report from everyone, and once I knew that the SEED and the AI were at the end of vol, I called Miller time and then we RTB'd. Pretty smooth RTB. Thank you, Fury 1, for checking our 6. We did have groups to the north. I know you said the picture was clear, but there were 2 groups, one to the north, one to the northwest, and I was afraid they might have been committing on us, so thanks for clearing our 6. Got feet wet, avoiding all the AAA that was by Dubrovnik there, and then RTB'd. The landing was a bit of a clusterfuck, but we can go over that once we actually get to the ACMI. So overall, pretty good stuff. Pretty low SA by my flight, but we managed to keep it together even when we were being engaged immediately, and then engaged by pop-up SAMs, which was both of which were unexpected. So good stuff.
Okay. Sting 1, 2 ship F-18s. Pushed up to our the target. We guys had, I guess, a bit of a traffic jam on the startup. So we just orbited, and then a flight of 4, 30, I guess SU-32s were coming in. And, yeah, Kraus, you were in position to engage them on the way, so you called offensive. And I didn't want there to be like a gigantic clusterfuck, so you guys dealt with that pretty nicely. Anyway, pushing onto the target, I think Gazman Lobo 1 gets there really quickly, gets there first, starts in orbit, engages targets to the northwest. We had contacts on Bulls and east of Bulls that Kraus started prosecuting as well. I just let you guys do your thing. Everything was pretty much debriefed, and I didn't really have to coordinate too much because everyone was doing pretty much what it was pre-briefed, what you're supposed to do. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Lobo 1 goes off data, and I call a check-in. I get no response. And I finally figure out that they've lost 3 ships to an SA-10 somewhere northwest of the bullseye. And I call that out for Falcon 1 to prosecute. Falcon is still trying to prosecute SA-17s. So what happened on the ground with like the takeoffs and such?
We were all in different spots. With like I was by Delta. I started by Delta. And yeah, it seemed like there was flights in front of me and behind me as well, but they were all facing different directions. So we just took off from Delta because I didn't want to deal with having to drive for 20 minutes.
And you took off the opposite of opposite.
Got to get airborne, dude.
Flights were taking off from opposite directions. I just followed Kraus. When he took off from halfway down the runway, we just followed him. It was okay.
I told my flight to just find the runway on their own. I would recommend that's literally what happened. I would recommend this airport is really shitty. And I'm not telling you to pick a different airport to frag these missions, but we should almost have like a new SOP or some kind of working thing where the only guys who move are the people who need to take off first and like the takeoff order. It's going to take a lot of coordination and comms and more buffoonery, but that's the only way I can think of unfucking that situation. Because it's not like DCS where you can just put shit in certain slots and you just know that for the mission. It's like it's random, and I get it. Usually it works. Most airfields it's fine, but for this one, it was a complete clusterfuck, and we wasted probably that 3 or 4 minutes on the ground bullshitting around. And today gas was short on us, so I was really nervous about it. I ended up just taking off and orbiting over the airfield till 3 and 4 took off. So things to think about long term of how we can improve the situation. I gave my suggestion, but it's going to need refinement.
Disseminate an airport diagram.
Shit, we don't have the...
No. This is post-takeoff.
Okay, wait, does Nighthawks have it?
What are we going to learn from looking at it?
Let's see.
It's just going to be a bunch of ships facing random directions and then people hitting into each other.
Sorry, I just got to run, but thanks. See you next time.
So yeah.
Falcon spawned on Echo, and I made a uneducated guess to make the right turn, and it took us to the beginning of the run 01. So it worked out, but yeah, I wasn't sure exactly where we were.
Okay, never mind. Crash the hell attack on that one. All right, so we're gonna start right away, I guess, with
Yeah, so they said they were defensive at this point, so we just committed on them as soon as they said they were defensive.
Okay, so this is Slider. You guys are orbiting S tier 2.
Yeah.
And just waiting for the rest of the package to get up and start moving out to rejoin. And then here, Kraus, you wanna take over this?
Sure. Yeah, so we had basically at this point, I fenced in just as he was calling. He was defensive, so you can see he's sort of in a turn right here, starting to turn away. And I was referencing steer 4 because I wanted to get back on Carrot, but even though that was +6, heard that he was defensive, and I just turned into them and locked him up, found him. And then it was pretty difficult to sort these guys because we couldn't get through their jammers. So you can see there I just lost lock. I knew he was there. I was trying to tell the other guy, I lost lock again. I'm trying to tell the other guys where they are. I think, yeah, Abe just lost lock. We keep losing lock on them, and they got extremely close. And basically, I don't know why Blackburn is locking up air brake, but anyway, so I was trying to sort them verbally because I couldn't pass data because they were jamming. And then we just did Fox 3 longs, and since they were so close, I didn't have time to... I don't think either of us had time to support the missile. I just slashed and fucking got out of there. How do you do the...
What's your distance? Right, control right click.
25 miles. Oops. Yeah.
Yeah, control right click them. There you go. Control left click. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yourself, yeah. Jeez, man. Yeah. Still can't fire?
We couldn't lock it. Yeah, so I got a shot, but then I'm like, yeah, I'm too close. I'm out of here. So this is a hard right turn, and then I went nose low to get some airspeed. And then these guys are still... There's missiles in the air, but I never got a missile launch warning because it was a Fox 1. Actually, those are adders. It said AA-12 in the briefing. Oh yeah, I guess Abe and Blackburn were defending adders, weren't you? Okay, so you see this beaming right here? That doesn't work when they're that close. Let me show you. When they're that close, you should be doing a split S or doing a hard right turn. I know what you were trying to do is you were trying to support the missile, but when they're that close, you can't support the missile. You're just going to get killed. Luckily, it looks like these missiles are ballistic or something. I don't know what they're doing. So they're probably going to go fully active on you, but only when they get closer. Fuck. Still beaming here.
Oh shit.
I
Going ballistic, Math.
He's fine.
Yeah, I I got disoriented for a moment, and so I was like, oh shit, I'm headed straight for the ground. I gotta try to figure out, roll wings level.
Speed it up. If you would. You're good.
Yeah, so now we're pumping out, and so at this point I turned back and hop as these two guys were tumbleweed. My two wingmen were tumbleweed, and Abe was saying he was defending a missile, so I turned back in and cleaned up. I think I'm gonna kill this guy, and I think I'd kill the guy on the left too, because I had them both locked up. Yep. This guy's fucked too. He's turned into me to probably try to shoot me, but I'm gonna turn away before he even gets a chance to. Yep. And I think those two missiles are kills. This was an AI. We forgot to send him home, but yeah, that missile killed him, and I think this one kills him as well. He's not even defending. Oh, he just started defending.
Yeah, I saw him on the data link and sent him home in the middle of that fight.
Yeah, but when these the point is, guys, and this is what I wanted to say is like when I'm this close, I never support the missile. I just fire and then I defend.
Cheap shot.
And when it's this close, it almost always goes fully active and tracks before it loses, before it goes ballistic. So anyway, that's that for that engagement. You can take over again if you want. This is what the fuck? Oh, what's going on there? Right, go to Abe over there. Is that like a Fox 3 close or something? What was that last missile fired? Here, go forward a little bit.
Blackburn. What?
No. There's a. Keep going.
There.
Oh.
Going to Abe here. Fight him. See it. Whoa.
Okay.
At the parachute? Oh, never mind.
Alright, moving on.
I think you told us to come in and hit them.
Yeah, because I didn't know if they were dead or not.
So yeah, Lobo was prepared to turn to the right if we needed help, but it seemed like everything was under control, so we just pressed ahead. We're scanning the west of the bullseye. So there were some friendly F-15s to the west. No, over the land up there.
So there.
Yeah, there's Claw over there. We were kind of monitoring them.
Oh, they're getting shot at by SA-4s.
Yep. Then we detected those Su-35s. Me and BS turned in. We both lofted we sorted on them and lofted on them. I cranked and supported it for a couple seconds and then turned away. But BS supported it a lot longer. I wanted him to turn out, but he was fine.
Nice.
So at like the same time, I thought that there's another group that I wasn't sure if you were engaging them or not.
No, I said I was engaging stuff to the west, the bullseye.
There's another group over here. Oh yeah, it's those Su-35s. I wasn't sure if those Su-35s were.
You gave me a bullseye that was a 051 something something. So that's east of the bullseye. So
you can see, yeah. So with this group, I was like, we went to commit on them, and then I saw that they're pulling us too close to the 17s, so we just came off dry.
How does the pointer again?
Shift.
Maybe that's just for the.
So yeah, we start our second run in. Element's coming out. I told the element to peek to the east and check the MiG-23 base out there.
Dum. He doesn't have the big ring either around.
I know there's bandits up to the I'm aware of those bandits to my right, 2 o'clock there. We turn towards them, and then we get hit by the SA-10s.
Damn, dude.
He doesn't even have the big threat ring, like the others do, I think.
So yeah, at this point, Fluky
and then
really knows that we just got destroyed.
Fluky pulled a Fluky and defended. Oh, shit!
Jeez, man.
Poor Fluky.
Wait, no, and he kills someone else here, I think.
No,
Target-
Chris Trevor's
nope.
on his own.
No, he
Chris
went by me on the left. Well, I didn't
Chris
get
Trevor's
a warning.
wondering where
Yeah, and
everyone
that's
is.
ballistic.
Yeah, within 10 seconds from full flight, I was on my own.
Yep. There he goes. Who's briefing or debriefing next?
I'm just like
You should just do per flight. It's easier to do it that way.
Yeah,
per flight. Okay.
I thought we were doing that.
So anyway, back to, I guess we'll just do Lobo 1 first. Lobo 1-4 is like, what do I do now?
No,
So-
well, I called into package. I did, and you'll see in a minute. I do a 360 to delouse myself and made sure the air picture was clear around me.
Yep, and then
Then you
and
would
then-
told me to RTB.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went in your Victor, and I'm like, yeah, I even just RTB. All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
as
Everyone's
Gussie's trying to figure out what's going on. I'm like, hey Gussie, should we tell this guy to go home? This poor guy who had his whole flight
All right,
killed.
let's go to Falcon 1 now.
That way, yeah.
And we got no indication of the SA-10. It just
No, nothing.
just
That's why I was
exploded.
surprised when
All
you
of us
went.
exploded.
Slider in control.
I don't know about Fluky.
Well,
It seemed like he defended, so maybe he got.
Yeah, he gate ran away. It doesn't matter. Like
He must have got an SA-10, you know, on his RWR.
Or he just watched us blow up one of
Yeah.
yeah. This in our orbit, we this is where they started hard locking me, and I broke right, or we broke right. The element continued, but then Kraus did his thing. So back to where we were before. Here I'm already looking at my head. Dark Fiber was spawning with I guess GMT mode or whatever, and the other guys went heads down shortly over here somewhere. Dark Fiber, or no, sorry, I think Domestos found 17. They started prosecuting that. I was looking for any pop-ups. Went away from the threat.
you just fired at something.
Me?
No, my JSOW. Can we look at
Oh yeah, yeah, JSO here. Oops, there. So yeah, he starts dropping the JSOs. Yeah, that's when they started calling all this shit out.
Oh man, talk about a perfect lineup for like CBUs.
Or JSOWs.
Or JSOWs, yeah.
Annoyingly,
And boom.
the SA-17 that I was aiming at is further north, or you know, there. Yeah,
And they're
that one.
moving, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that might be why then, because I centered on the SA-17.
Here
When I launched, I got loads of kills, but not the bloody one I wanted.
I hear a kitty. Here we are thinking it's clear, which actually was. Nothing came up, even though they were launching. Something. Oh yeah, that's when Kraus started yelling, I think. And I launched. I don't think he registered a kill. I don't know where that's going. Oh. And I believe this is when. Let me see.
Yep, you get.
Yeah, that's where. No, that's where. Where's Gasman? Or Lobo? Yeah, there we go. They get shot down, and I get a call around here somewhere. Looking for the SA-10. Same with Dark Fiber. Fired that. Looking, and then the SA-4 started confusing the shit out of me because it was showing like it was right under me, so I'm turning away from it just in case. Dark Fiber is scanning, and
Somebody called out SA-10.
yeah, it was already called at that point. We scanned. I was going around because I didn't know that it was that far there, so I was looking at that whole area, and then I looked back towards these guys that were down south.
So I was heads up. I was heads down, flying right towards those SA-10s. They had launched at slider, had no SA-10 nails on my radar, no 10 on my HAD. The only thing I had was that stupid SA-4.
Yeah, and you launched at it, and it's like way to the north.
Did you try the Has? Did you try Has?
I switched to HAS for the 4, not for 10. But maybe in retrospect, I should have tried that.
And there's the missiles right off his nose, 2 miles. I can't see them in the dark, obviously, but
SA-10 ruck mode.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really. It should at least show up in the HAD if it's fired.
And this is when I was when I saw there's more 17s active, and I was lining up to fire my second harm, and just went.
Yeah, those SA-10s are going Mach 3 there.
Yeah.
Boop. Very dead.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you took it. There.
Anyway, who took over after this?
I did.
Well,
and
what-
air brake disconnected at this point as well.
Oh, Nero's firing on the column.
So yeah, so at this point, slider dropped off, air brake dropped off. It's Domestus and myself. I see the SA-17s out of Mostar. This is that group that's to the northeast. You get a harm on them, and at that point, we're both Dakota. There's nothing we can do, so we RTB.
Although Dark Fiber did send me that as a mark point, and I was trying to talk air brake onto it without realizing that he'd actually disconnected due to a crash. Couldn't figure out why he was ignoring me.
Yeah, so we're done.
Alright, I'll just go quickly do Sting. Since it's there's not much action in Sting. Yeah, we get on station and we just orbit. And
then there's Gasman.
Okay, and then I coordinate with Lobo, send him home. And we get a fight way up there up north, but we don't push in because we know there's a Mud 10. Like we think that there's a Mud 10 up here, so
Yep.
I don't want to cross like this line right here and move up north.
Plus, you're also trying to avoid that AAA there.
Yeah, just AAA right here. So I'm like going around and around trying to avoid a AAA, and checking up north. I'm like, all right, let's not cross this line because the Mud 10's way up there.
Then I,
and all of a
then I
sudden,
get a 10 spike on
Mud
my
10 spike.
RWR, yeah. And I'm like, great.
Mud 10 spike. I'm like, whoa, okay, fuck it, let's get away, and boom. It's really surprised because I'm thinking it's northwest of Bullseye, like up here, and I'm thinking, okay, it just fired. It just hard locked me, so it's fired. So
yep.
I should be like over here by the time it gets to me, and all of a sudden I'm thinking that, and then I get a hit, and I eject, and then off the Nighthawk. Nighthawk goes home. That's my flight. Fun, good times, I guess.
Yep. It's like Mud 10
really
North.
stupid.
It was on the innermost of the innermost screens. I was like, oh no. So I brake. I go down. I see. What was kind of funny was I was worried about. I almost hit you. I think, Gussie. So I see you pass right over my nose, and boom.
Does the SA-10 have an optical mode?
No.
No backup?
No.
It's a command guidance.
Because it seems strange that its radar's not depicted on TAC view.
Yeah. Unless the range is that big. Like, try to zoom out as much as I can, or as much as you can.
I mean, let's take here's its circle.
Yep. No, that's the
There's no bigger
AAA.
okay.
That's the AAA. There's CPUs.
Oh, right.
It is.
The flaplet is there. It just wasn't emitting, or we weren't detecting it.
Where's the
Also, is that SA-10 a mobile vehicle? I'm confused. I
Yes,
thought they
yes,
were
it is.
fixed.
Yep. Mobile.
So that was stupid. Anyway, moving on to Force. Fury 1.
Alrighty.
Give you control just 1 sec. Here you go. What's your name on here?
Oh, it's force majeure.
Alrighty, so AI, shit, we were Fury. Okay, so maybe just going back really quick to the ground ops, just to figure, oh no, we don't have that. Okay, yeah, but basically good job, 3 and 4 for figuring out what the hell was going on. I never saw you. I think Ghost Dog just told me he was by the runway, so I told him to stay put. The formation itself here is okay. Good job, 3. 4 is not here, he left. But that's pretty much what I'm expecting in wedge. But what I want you to do next time is kick out more to where you probably can't see my mouse, but just more to the 3
Shift.
o'clock.
Hold down shift and click.
Oh, here we go. This thing right here, you guys can see this?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so basically in wedge, you need to be in a 30 to 45 aspect cone. So imagine a cone that was going like here to shift out. And then 4 would be in a fighting wing position, which Ghost Dog does here well. That's good. So that's wedge. Really good air to ground formation. Leading out to the target, I brief 2 IPs. Basically, as we're ingressing, I'll let you know what they were. So we had an IP about somewhere on the ocean here. That was IP Alpha. That was basically our first IP if all the shit in here was hot and we couldn't get in there, so to speak. IP Bravo was our second IP that we relied on to actually see shit in the target area, which is about where my mouse is here. It ended up being, we got to IP Bravo because we didn't see anything that was too red. So we're driving along. We're using sensors. I clear 3 nuggets down to see with his targeting pod enemies. He identified SA2s, which I think were here. Yeah, the SA2s. He also identifies tank battalion or yeah.
They'll probably be in that big cluster.
Okay, maybe about over here somewhat. So I basically give him clearance to execute battlefield interdiction, which is see shit and blow shit up. And I was basically in at the IP in a wagon wheel, just covering him, asking for updates. Ghost Dog does a good job seeing fighting wing. I never really looked back to see you because I didn't give a shit, but I'm glad you were there. Had you not been there, I would have upset. So it looks like here 3 and 4 are doing their Maverick attacks. Game plan was Element 2 would be carrying Mavericks as pretty much the primary. It's pretty much the primary munition against the SA-17 if it was active, standoff range, etc. Element 1 carried 4x97s. We actually, I don't think I told you guys, or maybe I did. Yeah, we got rid of our wing bags. Very important concept here. Wing bags and munitions choice and all that kind of shit. So carrying munitions out this far is a balance between drag factor, carrying ordnance to kill the target, and fuel. So I figured we would be just fine had we flown efficiently out to the target, which we did. We had about 350 knots at 15,000 feet all the way to the target, which gave us a good fuel flow. And that basically allowed us to do everything that you see here. We literally arrived at bingo somewhere out here on the RTB. So we had plenty of gas. And just letting you guys know, it is possible to fly with 4 pylons or without wing bags and execute CAS or BAI on the coastline here and have enough fuel to get back to base as long as you're not stupid about it. So anyway, 3 was doing their thing, and Element 2 was doing their thing, and basically, let's go over some of this shit. So these are not my best passes at all. Night CAS is really a disaster, and I kind of wanted to drop bombs because I'm doing that shit in real life right now, simulated, and it's pretty much a personal decision to do it. So basically, we decided Element 1 is going to go after the SA2s that you see here. I go off dry twice because I'm not used to I have done every ground in this plane in a really long time, and I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. So I do a safe escape here, roll out, Ghost Dog, dumps bombs over there. Yeah, it was hard to see in his defense, so I go for re-attack. I go really low, take AAA, up, then see him again. And at this time, I'm like, I just want to get my bombs off because we are limited on fuel, even though we have enough fuel to do the mission. I just want to prosecute my target. So there you go. Let's just replay. This is not an optimal pass at all. Basically, you want to be at higher altitude. You want to set a good base position. So you roll in 90 degrees to the target, run in heading, which you don't really see here it's okay, but honestly, I'm a professional aviator. This is pretty shit. You don't follow this at all. But yeah, I end up pulling out of the dive. I think at about 7,000 or 8,000. I knew what I was getting myself into, and if had I died, I would have accepted that. But 497s, for some reason, they seem like they have a good dispersion there with very low effects. I think I only killed 2 of the launchers, so whatever. I basically advise Element 2. We're Dakota. He does the same. We end up RTBing. We clear. There you go. You see that check back into Panther. The 6 was clean. And we come back in wedge formation. 300 knots. I don't know. Ghost Dog had a massive overshoot there. I was kind of nervous. Whatever. Okay. So then I tell him to go echelon right. Now, okay, one thing here, flight leads. Maintain airspeed, maintain altitude, do all that shit. That's like the fundamentals of aviation. Wingman, that means if you have a good flight lead, you don't have to be guessing and doing all kinds of shit. I'm flying extremely stable parameters here, but I see a lot of freaking yo-yos. Look at all this shit, okay? Look at this. Like, I'm literally 350 at 10,000 the entire time, okay? You don't need to, yeah, just work on your formation economy.
He's got to check his Twitch stream, man.
Exactly. Yeah. See all this? Okay, we can do better than this. All right. I know 3 and 4, you're kind of spit out there, and you got to fly off a 2 who's doing all kinds of shit here. Sorry, Ghost Dog, but yeah. Anyway, this is actually not a bad echelon turn back through initial. I call 3 mile initial on prime. Realizing, oh shit, right hand pattern. So let's see how this goes on the lines here for the oh shit, go echelon left.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this was terrifying. Not bad, not bad, but
is that a right hand brake?
Yeah,
it wasn't right hand pattern.
It was a different runway. It was a different runway than what we briefed.
Yeah, that was a call on the fly. So I think Fiverr called that out early on. So yeah, I mean, obviously plans change, but we should. Yeah, it's just tough to brief shit in this game because the tower's pretty much retarded. So anyway, landed pretty uneventfully. I didn't even know how to taxi back, so bad on me for not knowing the layout of the runway. Overall trends for the flight. Good job staying in positions. Mutual support was there. Had there been a SAM launch, I'm sure Sony would have seen it. I'm ready to give up again, by the way. He liked that too.
You landed on 2 different runways there.
Take a look at this.
Wait, did we?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Crash derby.
I briefed runway 1.
Alright, so break. Everything's cool, man. But you gotta go.
Cool.
This is
I even tell him this is a good base.
Holy fuck.
Wait, he's not even. Wait, what?
He's
I'm like,
flying
dude,
downwind of the wrong runway.
If you follow me, you're going to be in a really good base position. That's what I told him. I told him.
Oh shit. Collision time.
Is this like a coffin corner? Yeah, it is.
At that point, I was seeing Force in front of me and Ghost Dog's like shifting to the left. So I said, well, all right, I'll just keep in line with number 1 and see and hope everything goes good. But then he just crossed in front of me. So I said, whatever.
That reckoning, not his forte.
Runway 15 verified.
Does he cut across Force is the question. Oh yeah, he does.
Kind of.
3-3.
I'll be honest. I just didn't really see 2 all day today, but I just knew if he didn't kill me, and that was good enough.
You didn't kill me.
Yeah.
Good day.
So yeah, like big picture shit. I'm really bad with the lines. Sorry, but I thought the formation did a good job. The flight did a good job staying in formation. Good mutual support. Comms today overall for the package I thought were very good. We had one kind of run-on sentence that was quickly nipped in the bud with brevity.
I called brevity on that.
Very nice.
I was trying to convey information to you because when you asked me the first time, I did not even understand what you said. I had to, the Dark Fiber actually repeated what you said. It was just, you were really quiet for me at the moment.
Yeah, remember no run-on sentences, just engage defensive, engage offensive, mud here, I'm defending.
I'm hearing a lot of quibbling, I'm just saying, from
Slider. Anyway, I'm just giving you shit. Yeah, copy. And my mic.
I do this very often, so.
I'm working on my mic. My mic sucks, so my
Because
bad.
just remember, like for every second you're talking on uniform, that's every flight lead that's not giving orders. You know, they're not talking on their Victor if there's chatter on uniform. So the less there is, the better everyone is in the package. So that's generally the key.
All right, so are we doing? What are we doing now?
Overhead brakes.
Can I do my brief? Because I haven't done my brief yet.
I have a question for Force.
No, I did the first engagement and that's it.
Here, you take it.
I'm gonna head up to play some Arma if you guys don't need me anymore.
Force.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, what's up?
You said you didn't take wing bags. What was your loadout?
Okay, so 497, it's nice and slick with the center line, and then I put 2 Mavericks on stations 3 and 7 with center lines, no wing bags for element 2.
All right, so I'll do the Panther 1 brief now. So we'll just skip the first engagement because we already went over that. Okay, so where we left off was here. So my plan, the Panther 1 plan, our original flight plan had us like right here, and so I moved everything about 20 miles to the east to over here because I didn't want to be anywhere near those SA-17s. I made this whole area a RAS, so this whole area was RAS for me. We didn't go anywhere over here. And this was a RAS because I knew that there's A-10, there's AAA there, and this was a RAS because I knew there was OSAs in the middle of the ocean.
What's a RAS?
Restricted airspace.
Okay.
So the plan here was this was our steer 4, and the plan here was once we got steer 4, we were going to go trail by 5 miles per call sign. I really hate controlling 3 ships. Like, honestly, can't stand them. They're the worst. But that's what I had to deal with. So we were going to do a 3-ship chainsaw. That was our plan. It's harder to do when you have a 3-ship, but there's going to be 5-mile separation between each element. So Blackburn was I haven't told him to kick out 5 miles yet, but Abe's already in position, and we're all pretty much radar contacted right now, and we have pretty good SA right now. So push into the station area. First thing that happens here is I know that Gasman is engaging shit over here, and I was confusing. I thought that this group that he was engaging, these 2 Su-35s, by the time I was on station, they were off my gimbal, so I didn't know what bullseye they were at, and I know they were maneuvering. So when we see the second group here by Sarajevo, these 2 Su-35s, I wasn't sure if these were Gasman's bandits or not. So I decided to commit on them, which was not planned. Basically, the flight plan was essentially here. Like the chainsaw was supposed to basically be like this. But yeah, I decided, okay, these guys are gonna fuck Gasman up, so I'm gonna commit into them. And keep in mind, this whole thing is a RAS, so I knew not to go anywhere over here. So we start committing on them, and then when I realized that we're getting pulled into air defenses, we come off dry. So you can see here we're committing right now, committing, and then I'm like, nope, we're getting too close to Sarajevo. I feel like we're about to get jumped. So we come off dry, and then we reference the end of the chainsaw, which is over here by these AN2s. I heard on the AWACS that these bandits were around, but I knew they were either helicopters or cargo aircraft because they were super low and they were not moving. So I was like, whatever, don't care, no factor. So right now we're doing the actual chainsaw, so we're separated slightly, and we're just sort of flying in this wagon wheel, going between the 2 steer points. Pretty uneventful for now. We did have contact on these groups up here, and we were just tracking them, but they were flanking us, so we just decided to remain as fragged. So we're going here, going here. Okay, so at this point, I get an SA-17 launch at me. It comes out of nowhere, no warning. And I had planned for the beginning of the chainsaw to be here, specifically because it was in the middle of a mountain valley. So I figured if we had to defend Sam's, we could just post hole here and go down to the weeds. That turns out to be a good decision because as you're going to see here, we get a 17 launch suddenly out of nowhere. Pretty poor communication on my part. I just said Panther 1 defending Singer 17. I didn't give a direction, and because I was just I had low SA and I just wanted to survive. So there's multiple missiles in the air right now coming towards me. I did not see the launch, and honestly, I was a bit tumbleweed, so I just start post-holing. And my goal here is to terrain mask against this mountain. So I got down, but as you can see, I don't go fully NOE, and that's because as soon as the raw was clear, I was like, okay, I need to get up to Angels ASAP because I didn't want to get hit by mud. I didn't know that this mud was here, but I just assumed that there was man pads everywhere, so I was like, alright, I need to get the fuck out. So I do a very aggressive climb and direction away from the from the SAMs. And even though that potential of another launch on me, with this aspect, I'm not really afraid of that because I'm cold right now to the SAM. So I'm burning my ass off, and I'm like 40 degrees nose up or something. Meanwhile, as that's happening, Blackburn, I don't know what happened here, but he was drifting, I guess, a little far to the west. The same thing happened to him, and he was also no joy on those SAMs. So he just started defending. I don't know. Are you still here, Blackburn?
I am here.
So I guess you basically dragged the missiles, right? So you essentially just turned and then burned.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, that seemed to work out for you. I probably would have post-holed just because I didn't know the range, but I guess they fired at you at RMAX essentially. Yeah, they fired at you. Yeah, they fired you essentially at RMAX. Let's see what the range is on this fucking thing. How do I do the? Is it right?
Control right click them.
Sorry, I'm like an old man. All right, 15 miles. Yeah, so it's like 15 miles. So that's essentially the top of their WES. I think they could technically engage out to 18, but Blackburn makes a really strong right-hand turn, and then, yeah, this one might have been. This one might have had.
Yeah, they're like ground AMRAMs as far as range.
This one might have had a chance of killing them. No, it exploded before it got to him. Anyway, so now we're on station. We continue to be on station. So as you can see here, we had floated northwest of our station point, so I wanted to just get back into a chainsaw here. And right around here, we see a group coming from the east. Wasn't these AN2s? I don't know why they're not showing on the radar. Where are they?
Yeah, they're coming down the coast.
Su-25s. Whatever. So we didn't know what these were. The AWACS didn't declare them, and you can see they're moving pretty damn fast for a Su-25. They're moving pretty damn fast. So we thought they were fast movers. So we commit on them. And Blackburn's defensive here because of AAA.
Actually, not for AAA. I got a 29 spike on my back.
Oh, that's right.
Came from.
Oh yeah, it's probably these guys.
And then I figured out my RWR gone crazy because I was having a launch time at that point too, for 17s.
I see what happened. There is a
When
group.
I come back.
There's a group over Sarajevo. It looks like there's a group over Sarajevo that was flanking, and they locked you up, and that's what you got. So I thought that group was actually these Su-25s, so we commit on them and shoot them. And I think, again, because we thought they were MiG-29s, really aggressive sort of maneuvers. We didn't really guide the missiles, we just sort of broke away and just tried to kill them as quickly as possible. I think we damaged them, or we killed one and the other one was damaged. So one thing that you can't really tell in this is there's an assload of AAA here, and there's AAA spikes over here as well, so this whole thing is like a AAA death zone. So I killed those guys. I'm pretty sure that's the end of everything. So I think over here, like, Gus dies soon.
You take over right here.
Yeah, so you die over here, and then as soon as that happens, I call for statuses, and then once I know that everyone's at the end of roll, I just say, alright, fuck this RTB. I think that's all the shit that happened in our flight. So some feedback from my guys. We did the best we could with a 3-ship. Our SA was low at some points, but I think we still did pretty good as far as like supporting each other. The only feedback I would have is for 2, just to, try to be communicative of what's going on. Because there was a couple of times where you said you had a 29 spike, but then you didn't say a direction. So I just assumed it was the group that we were engaging, stuff like that. And yeah, 3 was pretty good with that. My only 2 cents on the overall package tactics and leading is there's basically no reason why anyone should have got killed by that SA-10 except for Gasman and who's the other guy? Gasman.
BS1.
BS, yeah. That's just, I can't think of any reason why anyone should have died except for those 2. You guys were ambushed, and there's nothing you could have done about it, literally. I mean, one could argue that, you know, you could have done some extra preparation, but I think it was, that just sucks, and that happens. But why did anyone else die? You know, like, it just doesn't...
Because, I can tell you, we were going, right? All of a sudden, 2 comes in, leads down. He was just calling in, engaging on some bandits on the nose. Somehow I'm thinking maybe a bandit snuck him. You know, so we were, you know, it's our mistake either way. There is no real excuse, so I don't want to say you're saying anything wrong. But this is what happened. So we were focused on, you know, like sorting out targets, looking at that shit. Next thing I know, I look down at my RWR, and I see a 10. I'm like, bleep shit, and you're gonna see it in the on the ACMI. You're gonna see me turn, drop, chaff and flare, and go down.
Yeah, I mean, what's his range? He got it. Fluky got ambushed too.
I had no idea where that fucker was, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
It just like I started reacting.
No, you're
to
right.
that shit.
You're right. I meant all of Lobo. That sort of makes sense. You're all within range, but like, why did anyone else die? Because like you guys were splashed, right? So like, we know that there's an SA-10 over here somewhere.
But I
did anyone call it out?
Though. As soon as I realized, I did call it out.
Who's the first person to call it out?
You did, Gasman. You did.
No, I know I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said.
I never called out SA-10. I got killed without even knowing what killed me.
Yeah, that was my voice, Kraus. You heard me.
Someone said they were defending an SA-10.
That was me. I called defending SA-10 bearing 325.
Okay, yeah, we just sound the same. It was Fluky.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, so we know that there's an SA-10 to the northwest by that call, right? So yeah. I would recommend that, you know, if that happens in the future, we make a decision not to basically cut. We no longer go towards the west side of a bullseye, or west side of the target, and we just restrict that airspace, because also the seed guys, like Gasman made a comment before, which I don't think anyone really heard, but he said you know, use ruck and fire on the SA-10. That shit will definitely work if you know the heading of the SAM. If you fire a ruck shot, it will work.
I wonder.
That range unknown.
Yeah.
Is the SA-10 like getting terrain blocked from a certain angle?
I don't think so. I mean.
There it is.
You can see there's a slight rise here.
No, that's not the radar. There you go.
It's very slight. But even so.
Yeah,
like,
we should be able to see it on the RWR and HAD.
Even so, we know that it's there, so we should treat it like it's there, and just the worst possible SAM in the world is an SA-10. Like, there's no way to defend it if you're... Like, Lobo was splashed, they couldn't do anything about it, they were fucked.
And you could also use the harms to preemptively just keep harm in the air as a, you know, against an SA-10, the whole, you know, make sure there's a harm in the air at all times, but it's going to take a lot of harms to do that. To actually use them for seed.
That's my soapbox. I would just say, like, the main thing to learn is if we know that there's an SA-10 in the area, we respect it. And Lobo couldn't have avoided that; they were ambushed. But the other guys who died, like Sting and Slider and stuff, those guys could have. There's no reason. All right,
if I could add something about the flight that I noticed, it took you like 3 tries to get it conveyed that you were defending an SA-17 on package comms because people were stepping on you. And it was about something useless.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the comment that was... was that the... Honestly, all I heard was beep, beep, beep. So is there like a comment or something that was cut off or something?
Yeah, there's people...
Someone was talking about not hearing anything.
Okay.
Like people were running on package comms and it...
About what?
Exactly what I was trying to brief, yeah. So I immediately said brevity after that.
What were they saying?
Something about I haven't heard anything on comms on package comms for, you know, is anyone still here or something like that.
It was like a blog, basically. Got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm done. Good feedback there, Abe. Appreciate it.
Also,
you can take over, Gus.
Oh, you know how me and Kraus said the miscommunication about who we were engaging? That's what Fox 3 calls are for, right?
Well, you can see in the beginning, I still gave a Fox 3 call on guard.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Because I knew that Slider's flight could have been shooting at them, because they were, like, if you look at it, they were very close. So I figured, okay, if one of Slider's guys turned around and Fox 3'd them, they should know that I'm shooting at. See, look, they actually were turned around. This actually proved my point.
I took my element in initially, and we were a millisecond from launching, and then I heard you shout Fox 3, so we stopped.
I know.
So when a flight calls, so think of it like baseball. Anyone that knows baseball, if there's a ball going to the outfield, and there's a bunch of people looking up trying to grab it, the first person that says "I got it" takes it, and everyone else concedes to the guy. So
which is what we did.
It's exactly like that. But instead of using Fox calls, and then you have like 5 Fox calls, said like back to back. Typically, just say engage defensive, and then the bullseye, and then the next flight says okay, supporting, or something like that.
Well, what I did is I gave a committing call, and then
yeah, that's when I turned out. As soon as you said that, I knew you had it.
Well, I think the commit call was done before this, so I said I was committing on them when they were about. Yeah, right around here I said I was. So when I do that sharp right turn and my speed increases, that's when I start committing.
So yeah, you say commit right here, and then someone else says that's near you, support. Like, you can support.
The main thing is I think
support you.
I think both are needed in this case, because I still did a Fox 3 call on guard because I knew that Slider's flight could have, like, I knew that there's a chance they could have been turning in. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to do a Fox 3 call so that they know. Because otherwise they wouldn't have known that I fired, and then they could have been flowing into them and got killed. So I think in this case it proves that sometimes you do have to do a Fox 3 call.
It depends on the situation. To call Fox 3 calls, but yeah, it's all situational. At red flag,
just trying to limit them a little bit more.
Yeah, if you're doing a smaller engagement, like this is considered a small engagement. It's you call your Fox 3s on a like a 4-ship here and a 4-ship here and a 4-ship here. Imagine like everyone calling their Fox 3 shots on those. It's just clutter, man. It's just so much clutter going on that no one can think, and people just start ignoring the uniform because there's so many Fox calls. So that was one thing I was trying to like avoid, and trying to get like a lesson learned from some like a really big barcap flights is like it's cool to call it for the small engagements, and it makes sense. But
is anyone still here?
Is anyone out there?
Well, who is saying that shit? Like
Slider.
Oh, okay. Big surprise.
So yeah. Basically, that's the biggest takeaway we took from that one debrief was is that we just gotta respect the uniform. Yeah, uniforms. Everything on the uniforms has gotta be like super important to be said.
I don't know what I said actually when I was defending because I was so amped up. Like, what did I actually? Did I actually?
I heard like the sound of you being stepped on. That's all I heard. I heard Panther 1 defend, and then you cut off, and then because people were stepping on you.
Nice.
And it was just, oh god, man, not a good point. It's like the worst point to be stepped on.
Well,
we gotta know what you're defending and what's going on.
You know, he started off by like blathering, even in the first part of the flight. I forget what he said. I can go back to the recording, but he was saying like, I don't know what the fuck he said. He was like, "There's shit over, like there's strobers on the right gimbal or something," and I was like, "Okay."
Everyone can see. No point to call it strobers because everyone sees the strobers in a package.
I forgot what he said, but it was something completely like meaningless. It might have been when we were. I don't remember. I'll have to check the footage. I'm so bad at remembering things.
Yeah.
But yeah. Are any of the seed guys still in here from the seed flight?
Yes.
So do you know how to use Ruck?
Yes.